Good morning, children, and welcome all to the second part of of tenses, that is the present tense. I, Priya teacher, will take you through the present tense structures, rules, and practice and number of examples to clarify all or any doubts that you could be having in the phase of learning the tenses, and you should feel confident and comfortable to answer all and any queries about tenses. So let's move on. Let's check what we have got in this session. Here we are going to deal about the sessions home assignment recheck. The last session, the introductory session of tenses, the checking will be done. We will just check the answers of the home assignment. I gave you 5 statements to be answered, right? So that checking we will do. Then a quick recap of what was done in the session number 1, the introductory session of tenses. Then we'll just check the types of tenses, because we need to deal with the sentence structure of types of sentences, different types of sentences. We won't deal with all the types of sentences, but the main and the basic types of sentences which we need to understand in the regular sentence structures or regular writings. Present indefinite tense or simple tense, that is called as, that is what we are going to deal with today, the new topic. Then present continuous tense or the present progressive tense, that is the second point. Then third, we are going to deal with the present perfect tense. Then fourth one, we will deal with the present perfect continuous tense. And then we will have a practice assignment, and then which we will solve together giving the answers. And then there will be an assignment given to you, which you have to do it as homework on your own, and the answers to which we will discuss in the next session. Now before we move on, I would just like to share a value talk or a rather, before we go on. Now right now the situations are like you are far off from the school, you are learning remotely, and I am teaching you through virtual or digital platform, rather we are learning through digital platform. So right now it remains very important to be focused, to be calm, and to understand everything that is going on, because this is what is going to reflect in your board exams. So right now we are going to begin with the tenses first part, that is the tenses present tense. So I want you all to be very focused, understand everything, and you can make your personal notes in case if you want to. And later on I will pass you on a PDF file or a Word file in which all the notes for tenses will be given to you, which you have to write down in your grammar classwork. So right now the homeworks that I am giving, you can write it on a full-scape paper or a classwork notebook if you have right now, and then finally when I send the notes, then you can fare it off. The concern now is to understand English properly, to speak correct English, to write accurate English. It's not just about scoring good marks. Anytime you should be able to voice out your thoughts in good English. So that's the matter of concern right now. So try to understand the concept. Don't be much bothered about writing down the notes on which paper should I write, teacher, how should I write, what pens to be used, ink pen, gel pen. So right now let's be focused on the important thing, that is the conceptual understanding of tenses. Okay, let's move on. We did a practice exercise in the first session of tenses, and for which we did discuss the answers for. Hope you all remember, and I would like it if you take your personal notes of the examples that we are discussing, or you can take a screenshot as well. Okay, then this was the home assignment that I gave you. Choose the correct form of verbs from the bracket. He dot 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 when my uncle entered the room. So like I told you, we don't need to go through the options immediately. We can just check the main verb, that is the action verb, and then try to use the correct form of that verb without going much into the options. If you check the options initially, that can create confusion. So he study when my uncle entered the room, because you have got entered over here. So let's get it up as he was studying when my uncle entered the room. Everyone is on the same platform, got the same answer. Second was, I must stay here because I dash a parcel. Now your main word of action is expect. So I must stay home. It's a bit in the future, so this is a necessary that I must stay home because I expect a parcel. That's it. Because I expect a parcel. Hope you all have got the same answers. From next time onwards, keep your home assignments ready before sitting down for the lessons. I see the price of petrol dash up again recently. I see the price of petrol went up again recently. Recently, right? Very close. Has gone, right? Or was gone. No, was gone becomes a complete past tense. So what should it be? Has gone. I see the price of petrol has gone up. Yes, again, recently, very recently, what is it? Went up recently. Next. The kites in the sky before it started raining. The kites before it started raining, ing form is there. So the kites were flying in the sky before it started raining. So the same thing we are going to use over here. Next, I for a suitable task before I got this one. I looked for a suitable task before I got this done. This one, this is also correct. Or I was looking for a suitable task before I got this one. What's the difference? Why not I was looking for a task before I got this one? Because ultimately it is communication. You're trying to convey a particular point to the listener. So I was looking for a suitable task before I got this one done. Before I got this one, more appropriate option would be I looked for a suitable task before I got this one. Okay, note it down. Move on. Next, what did we look into the past session? If we talked about perspectives was person, the first person, the second person, and third. First is the speaker, second is the listener, and third is the subject, object, scene or situation that we are referring to in the sentence. Pluralization of verbs actually is, it's like go becomes goes. So goes is actually not the plural, it is the singular. For better understanding, since we are very much used with the pluralization of nouns, as nouns are pluralized by using s or es towards the end of the word, the exact contradictory rule applies to verb. But it is quite difficult and confusing to remember these things, so we can consider it as pluralizing of verbs, because go is the plural form and goes is the singular form. If you can remember, please do remember, because it's very important. Like we discussed the rule, third person is singular, then the verb is singular actually. But to remember properly, we say that the verb is plural, because she goes, she walks, she talks, third person, right? Then plural forms of nouns were discussed, and then forms of verbs were discussed. Forms of verb as in MV1, main verb, base form, main verb, past tense, main verb, MV3, past participle. And then we also talked about present participle, that is the ing or the gerund form. I gave you charts to remember them correctly. Kinds of verbs, various kinds of verb, that is principal verb and helping verb. Let us keep it to a limited expansion, just the main verb and the helping verb. Right now we are more bothered about the helping verbs, because main verb, the regular and the irregular verbs, we already are aware of the past tense form, the gerund forms and all. So right now what matters is the helping verb, when and how to use it. That makes the sentence structure accurate. Then we talked about the sentence structure. Then concept of tenses, why types of tenses, based on the two elements, the time and the work concept. How much, what time does the sentence express, and how much work is being done in the sentence. Then we talked about introduction to the types of tenses, the past, the present and the future. Then we also had a practice exercise which we solved together. Then I gave you the home assignment, the answers to which we have done right now. Moving on. Now, before we go on to the types of sentences, the basic types of sentences are actually more than three, which we are not concerned right now. We are right now concerned with the basic types of sentences which can be converted from past, present and future tense to speak and write accurate English. That is our concern. And then later on scoring the marks for the board exam, the 8 marks, the gap filling and the error detection marks. So for that, first we have the affirmative types of sentence. Affirmative sentences: affirm, to reaffirm, to positive, a positive sentence where you don't have negativity or where you just state something, that it is just a statement made. That is what is called as to affirm something. So it will just be a sentence statement. So that is what is called as affirmative sentence. An affirmative statement is any statement that affirms something to be true. Affirm, to confirm. In a more general context, an affirmative sentence is any statement that agrees with or supports a given proposition or idea. It is proposition, it's not preposition. Okay, it's propose means if an idea has been given to you and you confirm on it, you pass on your views over it, that's just a statement given by you. It's an affirmative sentence. Then negative, you all know you should have some negation or a negative word: no, neither, never, not, any such sort. That's the indication of a negative sentence. A negative sentence is a sentence that states that something is false, right? Then interrogative sentences. Interrogative, like we all know, is it's a question. It should end with a question mark. For it's very sure that you have to end your interrogative sentence with a question mark. Now in this interrogative there are two types, that there is single ended and double ended. Double interrogative sentences, wherein you do one type of questions you just expect the answer to be yes or no, and the other type of question would be wherein you need expect an explanation to the answer given. So that is double interrogative sentences. So one interrogative where you don't expect much in the answer, you don't want them to brief out the answer or explain their point in the answer, the listener. But the double interrogative will be the one in which you expect them to explain the answer. That's what that double interrogative. So first deal with interrogative. An interrogative sentence asks a direct question and is punctuated at the end with a question mark. Extremely necessary. That's what I told you, right? Now let's start with the first type of tense, the present indefinite tense. The indefinite itself means that you are not sure from the sentence whether it is the task is completed or it's incomplete or it keeps on going, but it is just a statement that is given to you. So it is just called a simple sentence. And the uses of this usage, when ideally is a present tense used, because you all have many queries, as in while writing a character sketch or a pen sketch of a personality, a legendary person, or while writing up long answers, or while writing up these stories. Ma'am, what tense should we use? Well, the ideal answer would be you can follow a tense that you're comfortable with, but do try to stick to that type of tense in one answer. If you are going to write one answer and in that answer you have various types of tenses, you begin on your story with the past tense and then later on you start talking on about the present tense and you end up the story with the future tense on all. You can talk about the future, but when the story that you voice out should stand in coordinates with whatever tense you have used. So, when is the present tense used? To express habitual actions or general truths about, or which could be a part of a general event arrangements and all, or to introduce any quotations. You've got some example. I watch television on Sunday. Honesty is the best policy. The school reopens next week. Then Newton says every action has equal and opposite reaction. Then Ravana fights bravely, but he is killed in the end. It's just a statement about the story. So see here, Ravana fights bravely, but he is ultimately killed in the end. This is actually the right form of giving out the story. Then exclamatory also has a present simple tenses. In what sense? Here you go. There he is. See? So these types are then time clauses and conditional clauses in place of simple future. This is also a topic to be discussed. Zero conditionals, first conditional, second conditional and all. When we deal with clauses and all, we need to deal with it, because at times it does so happen that you get long questions wherein there are two tenses included, wherein if I were a prime minister, what would have happened? So it is actually future, imaginary, and it's not true right now, but can be true. So such conditions are called as conditional clauses. In that case, what could be an example of present indefinite tense? If you do not earn money, you will not buy a new house. Yes, future, and which can happen, which can be true. Okay, then next you've got present simple tense indefinite. First, let's deal with the affirmative tense sentences. The normal formula for affirmative sentences is the subject, the main verb, and s or es depending upon the subject. If it is the third person and if it is singular, only and only you will put s or es. That is actually singular form of the verb, but for you to remember, you can remember it as plural. Objects, then the objects. So it will she goes to school. She is the third person. goes, goes is the main verb, so we put a go plus ses and the object to the school. Then subject plural form. We are going, no, he goes to the school. Again an example for object for third person singular, then the verb becomes singular actually, s and es. For you to remember, you can just remember it as pluralizing the verb. Then next, they play cricket on the ground. See, plural verb. They play cricket on the ground. Subject is plural. They, verb, main verb, play cricket on the ground. Example. Then she cooks food in the evening. Third person singular. Example for this one. She cooks food in the evening. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Then water is something else. It's neither the speaker nor the listener, but it is the subject that we're talking. Water boils, s. See, s, third person singular, then the verb has to be having s there. We study in Sarhad school. See, we, plural form, subject is plural, then the verb is singular. No, the verb is plural, right? Technically the verb is plural here. study, study in Sarhad. She advises me not to smoke. She is singular. She is the third person. Advise, third person singular. The verb has to have s or es. Right? Noted it down? Shall we move on? Next, present indefinite tense or simple tense with negative sentences. How to deal with negative sentences? It could be just the singular subject, does not, of course, and first form of the verb with the object if you have any. It's not a necessity. Then plural subject, do not, of course, do not. Why do not? Because plural. So verb has to be plural. Plural, plural. Subject plural, the verb should be plural. Plural verb means there should not be a s attached to it. And then the first form of verb, which is the base form of verb. Then example, Reena does not watch television. So does, is this a singular or plural? This is the singular. Reena is singular, so this is also singular. Reena does not watch television. Then we do not smoke. Plural, plural, do. She does not write a letter to her friend. She, singular, verb, singular. See, does. Technically it is singular, but since you are all involved into nouns, just don't get confused at all. They do not like to swim. They, plural, do, plural. Next, present indefinite tense now with the interrogative sentences now. So we dealt with affirmative sentences, negative and not interrogative sentences. So do or does, depending upon the plural or the second or the singular form of the subject. Do or does, subject plus main verb plus object. Main verb first form. For example, do you play cricket? Singular, so do. Do you play cricket? Then does she wash her clothes? Does she wash clothes as well? Do you play cricket? Now here when you have used do, it means that you consider this you as a singular. It was one person who was listening. Do you play cricket? You are talking to one person there, so it is one. Do you play cricket? Does she wash clothes? Is that right? Is that correct? Do you play cricket? Can this be a plural as well? Because you is said for plural also. So it should be plural. When it is es, it is singular because she is singular. Now you got it correct. So no more queries, right? Does he not go to school? Singular. This is also singular form of verb. Why do you weep now? Weep means crying. Why are you crying now? Why do you? So is this singular or plural? This is plural. Do is plural. When there is no s or es in the verb, it is plural. Exactly the opposite of noun. Next, whose book do you read? Do you read? See, do you read? Next, present indefinite tense with double interrogatives. Double interrogative is when you expect an explanation, not just yes or no. So WH family words. What are the WH family words? Who, which, whom, where, when, how. All these are whose. All these are WH relevant words. So these words are included in the WH family. Do, does, depending upon the plural or singular form. For plural you will use do, for singular you will use does, and then the subject and the main verb, the base form of the verb, and then the object, and then the predicate if you have any extra information about anything. Why do you walk with it? Then whom does she address? Whom is she talking about actually? Whom does she address? The singular, third person, and this is also singular. Whom does she address? A very good example. Third person, double interrogative. Next, present indefinite tense with practice examples. Let's check this out. See the first one, okay? She goes to her office because she is the third person. She goes, G-O-E-S. Then why does you? Is it okay? Let's just check whether you is for singular or plural, because you can be used for one or more than one. So why do you like movies? Like will remain like as it is. Then the sentence structure becomes proper. Why do you likes movies? No, because movies itself is plural and you is considered, should be considered over here as singular itself. Why do you like movies? This is singular, this is plural. Then if I say why does you likes movies, does it sound proper? Does it technically go correct? We have learned the rules right now. No. So why do you like movies is the appropriate sentence structure. My friend visit his grandmother every day. My friend visits, it's a regular habit, right? So my friend visits his grandmother every day. Then Do Ritesh love the cold weather? So we are talking about one person, Ritesh. He is not the listener right now, and I am the speaker, and I am talking about Ritesh. So Ritesh is a singular. So I need to have singular verb here. Is this a singular verb? No, I have to add es. So does Ritesh love the cold weather? Yeah, and cold weather is a single thing. So singular. Love the cold weather. Then now here we do not know whether you is a singular or plural. Dash you dash to visit Kashmir this year. So it is going to be a question. There has to be a question mark over here. There should be a question mark. Do you plan to visit Kashmir this year? That is correct. Or does you plan? Is that required? No, you are talking to a singular. So do you plan? And we are right now referring to present indefinite, simple present tense. So when it is clear that you have to write in this tense, this should be the sentence structure. A question mark should be there. Then we always have an early dinner. It's all correct. We always have an early. Has is used for she has, he has. I have, they have. Have is used for plural, right? And has is used for singular. So we is plural. So we have an early dinner. Then his parents, singular. Is it singular? His parents plan a trip every. This is what is called as complicated subject. His is singular. Parents are of course more than one. His parents dash a trip every 6 months. His parents plan a trip every 6 months, because we are talking about his parents as a set of parent, one set. So we consider it as plan a very every plan a trip every 6 months. Then our doctor in the neighborhood makes a lot of money. S. Now let's check the answers. See, she goes. Why do you like? Then my friend visits. Then fourth one, does Ritesh love? Then fifth one, do you plan? Sixth one, have we always have. Then his parents plan a trip every 6 months, and a trip is planned. So plan. Then a doctor in the neighborhood makes as regular habitual, that is used. Okay, next. This is your home assignment. Please pick up a snapshot. I dash my mother sometimes. Sheetal come here every day. We eat rice for dinner every day. We never hide the truth. He never hide the truth. Make hay while the sun dash. Then apple good for health. Then the dog, B form of word. How many B forms have we learned in the last session? 8 forms of B. The dogs bark the dogs, third person, and it is singular. No, plural. So do you need to pluralize the verb? No. Pluralizing means what? Adding s? No, not adding a s is pluralizing. So you need to use the dogs barks every night. Check and write the answer. We will check the answers in the next session. You dash the phone every day. Check. Okay. Next, present continuous tense. Present continuous tense, it is used to describe an action in progress and the continuity of the action. Then an action that is not happening at the time of speaking, but it is in progress. Something that is not happening right now, right when I am speaking, but it's in progress. So that is what is present continuous tense. Means it is happening, but can be that it's not happening when I'm speaking. An action that has been pre-arranged to take place in near very close, but it will be considered in future present continuous tense. We will understand that with examples. Persistent and undesirable habits are also considered under present continuous tense, especially with adverbs like always, continually, and constantly. Just remember these highlighted words like always, continually, and constantly. Always, continually, and constantly. When these words are used, ideally it means that it is the present continuous tense. So the same technique you will follow for answering the gap filling questions. Next, It's affirmative sentences for present continuous tense. Affirmative is positive statement. The formula is singular subject, then is or am. Am will be used only for I, and is will be used only for singular. She is, he is. Singular subject is, am. And no, affirmative not will not be there over here. Not should not be there at all. It is an affirmative sentence. Then first form of the verb, and ing is necessary because it is the present participle, and you have to indicate that the action is going on. So main verb, first form of the verb will have ing, and then the object or the predicate that you have. And if the subject is plural, then it has to be are for sure, present tense and are. And then no, not should not be there at all over it because it is affirmative sentences. First form of the verb and ing form. Again, examples, let's check that. Just ignore this not over there. It should not at all be there. It's negative sentence. Then right now we are talking about affirmative sentence. My apologies for that. I am playing a game. See, I am playing a game. Singular, am. She is reading a book. That's it. Then we are going to Shimla. Then next, present continuous tense with negative sentence. Now this is important. Now this is needed. Not is correct over here. See, same formula, the same rule, the same structure, just adding a word not over there. Singular subject is, am, not, and then the main form of the verb, that is the mv1, and ing, of course, very important because it is continually going on. And then the object or the predicate. Plural form of the subject is there, then are, and then of course not, because we are right now we are talking about negative sentences. First form of the verb and ing, and then the object. Let's check the examples. Ram is not surfing the internet. Not surfing. See, they are not watching a movie. Not watching a. They, plural, are. Ram, singular, third person, is. Then I am. I will be followed by either am or have. I has is very wrong English, very incorrect English. I has will never be used, neither in spoken nor in written English. I am. I has is wrong. I have or I am. Either two of them. I am neither swimming in the water. Now swimming in the water could be there. Then next, interrogative question sentences. Is, am or are, depending upon the plural or singular form of the subject. For a singular form of the subject, it is. For me, myself, I am. And for plural, are. Then the subject itself, and then the first form of the verb, that is mv1, the main verb, and then ing form, and then the question mark. For example, let's check. Now this is also a double interrogative format of sentence structure for interrogative sentences. The question word, which I mean by win as the WH family word, the 7-8 words, is, am, are, then the subject, then the first form of the verb, and then the ing. With examples it will become very clear. See here, is Reena cooking food? See, is, subject is Reena, cooking, cook, cook, and ing, cooking food, question mark. Next, are you not writing a letter? Question as well as negative question. See, same sentence structure, but here after the subject you have added not. So negative interrogative is also added in the example. Are you not write, WRITE, ing, E is cancelled there, WRITING, writing a letter, object. Next, what is Ravina doing here? DOING, doing. I had typed it personally, so please ignore the typo errors. What is Ravina doing here? Then, which newspaper are you buying? What is Ravina doing? Oh, DOING, doing here. WH word, what is, name Ravina, do and ing, doing and here. See, which newspaper are you buying? Question, which newspaper are you buying? BUY, buy, and ing, buying. Same sentence, but since you expect an explanation, double interrogative. Then why was the camel not drinking water? Question with a negation. Why was the camel? Why was the camel after the subject not? Always add the negation after the subject. Why was the camel? Why was? Why and was the camel not drinking water? It's not an appropriate sentence example for this interrogative type sentences, but it relates to the present continuous tense. See, because technically it deals with drinking, ing form, negation is there, and the same structure is followed. Okay. Next, present continuous tense for double interrogatives. Double interrogatives, WH family word is MR subject plus MV1 ing and then the object. Let's see a few examples to clarify the structure. Why am I doing this? How is he doing it? Whom is she giving it? The same structure. Whom is she giving it? Next, present continuous tense practice exercises. The CAs make a lot of money these days. No, right now we are talking about continuous tense. The CAs, S plural. So are, the CAs are. Make should become making. The CAs are making a lot of money these days. Then why be he not help you? B forms is, am, are. Huh? Is, am, are. Was, where. Huh? Then be, been, being. So why did he not help you? Here it should be do or does or did. Can we use that? No, because we are talking about present continuous tense. Think over it. Why be he not? Why was he not helping you? See, why was he not helping you? Present continuous tense. Why was he not helping you? Correct? No. See, continuous. I made it helping, but was makes it past and we want the present. So why is he not helping you? Question mark, of course. Then third one, B form of be. Is, was, am, are, were, be, been and being. Any one of those 8 words. You come to my house today. Check what will you put in the answers. Then the band dash play all the old songs. Think about the answers and take a print screen of the answers. See, third one. See, are you coming to my house today? Is you coming will not be possible. So are you coming? Are you coming to my house today? Similarly, fourth one, the band. The band are playing all old songs, right? The band are playing all old songs. His parents are visiting him today evening. Are visiting him. Now, plural. Next, present continuous tense. Are cook. This is you just need to take a snapshot so that you can write the answers to it, and we will discuss the answers later on. Wait, I'll keep it back so that you can write the take a snapshot. Copy the answers. Next, present perfect tense. Now, when do we use present perfect tense? To express an action recently completed. It is completed but very recently, so it will not be considered as past tense. There is a difference between past tense and present perfect tense. The action is come, though the stress is only on the factor of work, that the work is done, but it is just done recently. That's the reason I told you two different aspects in tenses, time and work. The work is completed but it is just completed recently, so it will be present perfect tense. To express an action recently completed, it is used with just. The train has just arrived. Then the to describe an action which began in the past and continues up to the present moment, using for or since, etc. I have not slept since evening. Then to describe the recent actions when the time is not known, when you're not sure about the time. Actually, have you seen the news on TV this morning? Morning exact timing I am not going to point out, but what do I say, have you seen the news on this morning? Then to describe a past which is important for its effect in the present and not in itself. So example, I have stopped gaining weight now. And to describe the connection of the present with the distant past, or it is related or it is compared, the present with the past, something that has just happened, that will be compared, so that will be called as past present perfect tense and not past tense. Why? Because the action is completed, but just now, just before I'm speaking, just now. So there's a ratio. Actually, this can also be explained with the help of a line, graph line, which I will try to do it in the later sessions to clear the differences between past tense and present perfect tense. Present perfect tense, what did I tell you? That the more stress will be given on the completion of the work and not on the tense, rather time. But in the past tense, it will be complete past tense when that the work is done and it is done in somewhere back in the past. So example over here was, I have heard that the theater has been closed. So has and been closed. See, has is present and been is the form of be verb and closed past tense. So next, affirmative sentences. Affirmative sentences, subject, so the formula, wait here, I have heard that the theater has been closed. It's a complete past tense. Closed, SED. It's complete past tense. This should not be used over here. Present perfect tense. Closed and been and has. We'll check this answer again. Affirmative sentences. Subject has, have plus MV3 plus object. MV3 is the past participle. That is the third form of the verb. Has for singulars and have for plurals if the subject is singular. Example, you, I, we, they have bought the umbrella. Then he, she has bought the umbrella. Third person is singular over here, so the verb has also used, the verb is also singular. Next, negative sentences for present perfect tense. Present and perfect tense, the stress is more on the action completing, not on the time. Subject plus has or have, not, and then MV3 object. MV3 is the past participle. You, I, we, they have not booked the tickets yet. He, she has not booked the ticket yet. See, it's the only difference is has and have. Have for plural, has for singular. Examples, I have not called him. The train has not gone. Then next, interrogative sentences. Interrogative question, has, have and subject, MV3 and object. Have you, I, we or they caught the thief? Third form of the verb. Catch, caught and caught. It cannot be cotton, cotted, anything, right? Have you, have they, have I or have we caught the thief? Has she, he caught the thief? Now, has she gone to Delhi? Then have they not seen the Taj Mahal yet? Next, double interrogative where you expect an explanation. So you will need a WH family word, who, which, whom, where, when, how, all these sort of words. WH family word, then has or have depending upon the singular or plural form of the subject, then the subject itself, and then MV3 and then the object. Now give me an example for the for structure for the negative double interrogative. Just add a not over here. Not, never or neither after the subject, a negation after the subject here. Example, the example will be, what have they eaten today? What have they eaten today? Next, why have they been playing football? Why have They playing football since the morning. Then practice exercise for you. Try to write the answers. Check them out. If possible, take a screenshot and write them down. Actually, I have done it in a lot of hurry, so please excuse me for some technical typo errors here and there. I'll try to work it out in the next sessions. Hmm? Present perfect tense. Example: the cat, all the milk, they, not arrive yet. Present perfect, ing is not expected here. Perfect is past tense. MV3, the past participle, sorry. So cat, drink, past participle, drink, drank, drunk. The cat drunk all the milk. But here it is the present tense. The cat has drunk all the milk. Singular and third form. The cat has drunk all the milk. Next, they not arrived yet. See, have not arrived yet, because they is plural and not arrived. They have not arrived. Third form of the verb. She has not qualified the written test, because third form of qualify is qualified, and she will have. After she we will use have. She has not required. She has not qualified. She has not it will be had, has and not have. She has not qualified the written test yet. Then we have seen the movie. Then I have a thought of inviting all my friends. Then my brother has not seen the Red Fort yet. Then the teacher has just entered the class. Correct. Third form of enter, and depending upon the subject it should be singular or plural. Rajesh stopped learning piano. No, that will be past tense, but we want to make it present perfect. Rajesh has stopped learning piano. So depending upon the tense. So first you need to know the type of tense. Next, present perfect tense. This is your home assignment. Just take a snapshot and try to work it out at home, the answers to which we will try to discuss in the next session. We are running out of time right now. Present perfect continuous tense. Now the last type of tense, to describe an action that began in the past and is continuing now. It is a combination of perfectness and continuous. It was done in the past, recent past, and it continues doing now as well. So it will be more clear with the example. They have been staying in the valley for a long time. So the basic structure over here, for you to remember: perfect continuous and present. Present means have or has. Perfect means been should be there, been. Present perfect, so been should be there, and continuity is shown by ing form. So has been staying, have been staying will be present perfect continuous. Remember that has been staying, have been staying, or has been and the ing form of the verb, have been and the ing form of the word means present perfect continuous tense forever. Then it has been raining. See, has been raining since last night. Then to express an action already completed but the effect is still there. The action is completed, so you don't term it as past tense, but the effect is still there. Even then it will not be considered to be a past tense. That is about the understanding of the sentence. But when you talk about the structural format, it has to be has been or have been staying, doing. Has been, have been plus the ing form of the third form of verb. I have been running around for the task. Now I am tired. See, so I have been running around for the task and now I am tired. Now I am done. Then affirmative sentences. Subject plus has, have been, and then mv1 and ing with for or since. That helps it. For or since. Anay has been sleeping since 6 o'clock. Singular subject has. Then they have been running for 3 hours. Plural subject. Then negative sentences, not should be there. Same format but with a not over there. For see, you have not been suffering from fever for 1 week. Just check. The gardener has not been watering the plants for 2 hours. Next, interrogative sentences, has or have depending upon the singular or plural form, then the subject, then been, then MV1 and ing form. Also, since and for should be there ideally. Not a necessity, but it should be there to make the sentence clear. If you are framing a story or writing an answer. Have you both been sleeping since 8 o'clock? Been sleeping, have been sleeping, has been doing, present perfect continuous tense. That's the structure, basic structure. Then double interrogative, why family word, has or have depending upon the subject, plural or singular, been, and MV1 with ing form, object, and since or for. Same if you want to make from the negative question, add not over here. Example, why are you plucking the flowers? What has been helping in the office? What has been helping in the office? Then this is the exercise that we need to do. See, in dash it has been raining everywhere. Just check the subject and you have to make it perfect continuous tense, right? And that to present. So we have been, we will is a plural, so it will have been waiting. She has been practicing. This statue has been, is been, no, has been, this statue has been lying here. Then Parul, why not is over here? Because it is neither me nor you, it is the statue, so has been, not this statue is been lying here for ages. This statue has been lying over here for ages, and because we are talking about past perfect continuous tense, the action has been taken back but the effect is still there. This statue is no, is will not be used, has will be lying. Parul talked on the phone for Parul has been talking. The court has been sending. The teachers have been invigilating. These children have been suffering. Take a screenshot. Just note down these questions, which is again a home assignment for you. You can take a screenshot and note down. Next, this is in the form of the board exam paper. Again another home assignment. Take a screenshot of this. And then thank you so much for all your time. Please, my apologies if technically typing has gone wrong. I did it in the late night yesterday. Try to work it out next time. Thank you so much and keep learning. Thank you.